Welcome to The Fight with Teddy Atlas. I'm Ken Rideout, joined as always by Hall of Famer, the great Teddy Atlas. We're back at the Trinity Boxing Club in downtown Manhattan today to do the fight plan for Kovalev Canelo coming up this Saturday. Today's episode is brought to you by MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for 100% credit on your first deposit up to $1,000. Teddy, good to be with you.
Good seeing you, Ken.
What should we look for today, Saturday?
Well, the first thing I think about is how quickly, Kovalev is taking this fight. He doesn't have much time to recover from a really tough fight against Yard. What was it, 2.5 months ago?
10 weeks,
Yeah, when you're at the age that Kovalev, it's kind of like having an old car. After you're on a long trip, you don't go on another long trip, by the way. I mean, I know you drive Ferraris and all that, so it doesn't matter. He gets a new car, every time he goes on a long trip, so it doesn't really matter. But for normal people, you put it in the garage and you get an oil change, and you let it rest for a while because there's miles on that odometer. They're not doing that with Kovalev, and I think it could be a problem for him. But he's got 12 million good reasons to be taking a fight really quick, as in De Niro. So that's that. The other thing is, look, everybody knows, and they're talking about Kovalev, and the draw to this is he's a bigger guy. But he's not the physically bigger guy. Yeah, he's a light heavyweight against a guy who moved up from middleweight. He moved up from super middleweight. Now he's light heavyweight. But he's more of a finesse guy, Kovalev. He's not, he's not that Herculean kind of strong guy that's going to use his physicality, to push you around a little bit. So I think that's going to bode well, really, on the side of Canelo. And as far as getting a fair decision, do I even have to go in there? Does anybody really out there, if you guys like on celebrating on the weekend with your favorite pop, is there anybody out there that really thinks that Canelo will not get a decision if it goes to the score, that Kovalev could get a fair shake? I mean, Canelo's the biggest name in boxing. He's the cash cow of the promoter, right? I mean, in the famous words of Tony Soprano, forget about it. It ain't happening. But, again, that 9th round or that 8th round in the last fight with Yard, Kovalev was almost gone. Yep. And to his credit, he came back. And Yard ran out of gas. He faded. But he took a lot of punches in that fight. I think, and in that round, I think that if Kovalev or Canelo can get Kovalev into that kind of position late in the fight with his youth, with his experience, I don't think Kovalev survives that. How do you like that? And the bigger guy doesn't survive against the smaller guy. But how about we go inside and we do the fight plan and we really get down to the X's and O's and find out what's going to happen.
Sounds good.
Let's go.
Before we jump into the ring, guys, I just want to take a minute to point out the t-shirts Teddy and I are wearing. If you're an MMA guy, you got the Dustin Poirier version, 25 minutes to make life fair. Boxing, 36 minutes to make life fair. Check it out at teddyatlas.com. Thanks for supporting the show. Let's do this. All right, so Teddy, tell me, what should I look for from Canelo? We got Kovalev, orthodox fighter. What are we going to look for? What does Canelo need to do to win?
Well, the first thing he's got to recognize that the best punch of Kovalev is his jab. To set up his right hand, you guys right away you're going to jump on me and say, well, the power punch is right hand. Yeah, that's why he was called the crusher. But it was the jab that was the delivery system for it. And I think there's a little bit of a flaw. As good as his jab is, Kovalev that is, there's a little bit of a kink in the armor when he does it. And what he does is, he starts out with a good idea. What Kovalev do, he'll jab not from the center where he can get caught, bang! He'll jab a little bit from the side, from his right side, bang! Like that. But when he does that, and he lays over here, he's vulnerable to right hands, which you're going to be vulnerable to right now. So he does, see, laying right in there, bang, hit him with the right hand. But I also think that he can get 2 for the price of 1. Everyone's talking about this guy being a bigger guy, Kovalev, that's a big advantage. Well, I tell you how Canelo can use it as an advantage for him. Yeah, he's bigger, but that means there's a lot of body to hit. And if you don't forget, well, do you remember that Kovalev got stopped by somebody named Andre Ward to the body, putting water in his basement? So I think he gets 2 for the price of 1. He hits him with the right hand, and then he slips over, take care of defense, gets his head over there, and is in position to hit that big, long body of Kovalev. Let's take a look what it's going to look like. He jabs, bang, over here, bang. Sorry. You got a race coming up, right?
Good.
He's going to win that race, broken rib and all. That's what he's got to do. If he does that, well, Canelo, he gets the win. Kovalev, he's $12 million richer, but he won't be eating lobster and steak. He'll be eating soup. You eat lobster and steak every day. No, you're a vegan.
No meat for me.
He's a vegan. Caviar.
All right, guys, before we get into what we should look for out of Kovalev if he wants to win this fight, I want to give a quick shout out to MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for 100% credit on your first deposit up to $1,000. So deposit $1,000, they'll match you another $1,000. You'll have $2,000. All right, Teddy. If Kovalev's going to win this fight, what does he have to do?
Well, he's going to use his size. And the way that I think he's going to use his size is on the outside. His length, his height, and that means his jab. That is Kovalev's best punch. I mean, it's his delivery system for his most powerful punch, the right hand, but it's really the punch that he likes to use. And I think that he can use it with the shorter Canelo, where he can keep a little bit of range to set up the right hand. And he can score, and he can get ahead in the fight. You know, do the same thing that Golovkin did. Although, that night, the judges didn't score jabs. I guess they didn't count that night. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to count any more this night, to be quite honest with you. But he still should use the jab, whatever the heck the judges say or don't say. So, you're going to be the shorter guy, Canelo, and, you know, he'll tuck up. He'll be looking to slip a little bit. He'll be looking to press, I think, even though he's in there with the bigger guy. I think he's going to be aggressive in spots. And when he does, sometimes he pushes forward a little bit. He leans forward. And he can lose vision of an uppercut. So you use the jab, you set him up. Bang! And you pick him up with that uppercut. Also, there's another spot to look for. Every once in a while, Canelo's good technically. He is. So don't start hating me out there. I'm just breaking it down for you and giving you all the possibilities. But every once in a while, Canelo will lead with a left hook in front. You really shouldn't do that because you leave yourself open to a right hand because straight beats round. I learned that years ago when I went to school 2 or 3 days. So you lead with the left hook. If Canelo does that, he leads with a bang, straight right hand, right inside of that. So that's 2 ways that he can win the fight. Either one of those ways. But there's still one problem. Small little problem in this sport. He still would have to get a decision with the judges. Now I got an idea for that too. He's getting $12 million. Use some of that money. All right? I'm just kidding. All right? Don't go crazy out there.
Give me a nervous breakdown.
I'm just kidding around. All right? But if he does that, in my eyes, he's got a chance to win.
Well, you know, I like to put you on the spot. So who do you got winning? What method of victory? What round, etc.?
I have Canelo winning this fight. Yeah, that's right. I got the smaller man winning the fight. The smaller, the younger man, the guy who's going to be fresher, who's not coming off a tough fight, like the older guy is coming off a tough fight. I think that's going to bode well for Canelo. I have him hurting Kovalev late in the fight. Maybe dropping him. Maybe stopping him. But I'm going to go with the experience of Kovalev will allow him to survive, and I will go with Canelo by decision. unanimous decision. But again, some damage being done late where I would not be shocked to see Kovalev on the floor and maybe even stop him.
I have to agree. I think he's going to stop him, but either way, I'm excited to see this one. Guys, thanks for being with us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out teddyatlas.com where you can pick up one of these t-shirts. Like we said, thanks for the support. Appreciate it.
You get the t-shirt, you look like him.